back with you for another video, and this week I thought I'd do something that I've had on my mind a lot recently, and that is the differences between living in a big city and a small town. As I've mentioned before, I came from a small town and moved to the big city that I'm living in now for university, and I mean, I've been here for almost 2 years now, so I've noticed a lot of differences, and I mean, they're probably not the same for every single small town or big city, but they're just some of the differences that I personally have noticed, and I just wanted to kind of like share them with you, talk about them, and yeah. So the first one that I noticed was the schools here. First of all, where I come from, we had 3 high schools in total, and one of those was the Catholic high school, and we had a lot of elementary schools, but I mean, they weren't huge. My elementary school was the biggest elementary school in my hometown, and it had 500 kids, and the rest of them were like way less than that, and I don't even know the population of that school now, but the year that I graduated it had about 500 kids, and even my high school was about 800, and so that's just a huge difference already from the schools here, because the elementary schools here have like 800 kids, and they're these huge buildings. Like, all of our elementary schools where I'm from are small little buildings. A lot of them are like 1 floor with like portables, whatever, you know. That's what my school actually was when I first moved there in grade 3. And it was portables all over the place and just literally like 1 or 2 hallways. I can't totally remember. But the elementary schools here are like bigger than my high schools. And another thing about schools here is that they have middle school. I thought that middle school was only a thing that was in the States until I moved to where I live now, and people were like, oh yeah, middle school this, middle school that, and I'm like, wait, they have middle schools here? I had no idea that they were a thing in Canada until I moved here. Another thing is the kids here. There's so many of them, and it's so weird to me because they take the public transport as their buses, and they get on for free, so that's like, I wish. But they take the regular buses, subways, whatever. They can get on for free at any time as long as they have their student ID card, and they take the buses to go to home, to school, wherever, you know? And then that's just such a strange thing for me. You see city buses here way more often than you do see school buses. I very rarely see school buses, but I remember when I was in elementary school, I had to take a school bus for grade 8, and like there was no mention of taking city buses, you know, especially too if we talk about transport. Here we've got streetcars, we've got subways, we've got buses, and with that we have like super long subway lines. We have like 100 bus routes, and like I think we have 10 or 15 streetcar routes, so it's like we have a lot of different ways we can get wherever we want to go, whereas where I'm from, we have, when I lived there, we had 5 bus routes. I think there's 6 now, but they all meet in the little center area and then they go off to their own places, so it's very like, it takes a long time to get from place A to place B, because place A to place B might only be like a straight line apart, but if you're taking bus A, you gotta go to the center, meet up with bus B, and then it goes back around, you know? And it's like here there's so many different bus routes, and they're not all meeting at the same place. They're going from a whole whack load of different places, and they can get you basically anywhere in the city. Another thing is the amount of people. As mentioned before, my little city has about 30,000 people, and where I'm living now has about 3 million. Now that means crowded public transport, crowded streets, especially downtown, and just so many different people, so like everywhere. There is so much diversity here. Where I'm from, it's mainly white people, just because that's how some small towns are, you know? and there's just so many more people here. And with that comes the friendliness of people. People where I'm from, I find, are a lot nicer because you can be walking downtown and you'll see someone and you'll smile and you'll say hi, even if you don't know them. But I mean, 9 times out of 10 you end up running into 1 or 2 people that you do know anyways. So it's like, whatever, you know. But it's like when I'm walking downtown here, which is right where my university is, if I even look at someone, they will like instantly look away and avoid eye contact. I see people crossing streets to avoid others, and it's such a weird thing because people here are so much less friendly because it's like everyone seems to think that you want something from them. And I feel like that's the mindset of people in the big city, you know? Along with that too comes homeless people, which is a really sad topic in my opinion. I do not believe that anyone should be without a home, without somewhere to stay dry and keep warm and stuff, and I find it very heartbreaking every time I go downtown and I'll be walking up one street and there will be like 5 or 6 homeless people. I'll go on campus, there will be another 5 or 6 homeless people. Whereas where I'm from, we have one homeless person, and I say that in quotations because it's been proven that she's not actually homeless. She just pretends that she is to get the money that she wants. I mean, it's good for her that she actually has a home. Bad that she's using people to get money so she doesn't have to work. But I mean, and then I'm here and it's like all these people legitimately don't have a home and they can't afford it. And I mean, that's just how it is. And you would think that that wouldn't be the problem because there are so many apartments, so many condos here, like a lot of buildings, but none of it is affordable housing. Compared to where I'm from, it's way different. Like it's more houses or townhouses or complexes. There are apartment buildings obviously, but they're nowhere near as prominent as they are where I live now. And even going to rent prices, here it is way more expensive than where I'm from. People where I'm from can get a full like 3-floor house for like $1,500 a month. Meanwhile here it's like $1,500 a month for a basement apartment, you know? So it's very just different between the two places, and it's sometimes fun to think about it, but then at the same time it's like, holy crap, how can 2 places that aren't even that far apart from each other be so different, you know what I mean? And it makes me kind of appreciate where I'm from a bit more, just because I'm not a big fan of the busy city life, people everywhere kind of thing, and I do prefer my quieter areas. And that really makes going home now really more special for me because I get to see my family and I get this time away from the city, which I feel personally I need quite often just because of my anxiety and all that stuff. Yeah, but those are some of the differences between the big city and the small town that I noticed. I would love to hear any more of your comparisons down in the comments below. I'm sure there are people who are watching this video who have lived in many different places. Personally, this is my 5th city/town that I have lived in. Holy crap, that's crazy. I'm in approximately my 11th house and I'm only 19, so that's kind of completely crazy to me. Anyways, I really hope you all enjoyed this and I hope to see you in my next video. So until next time, bye!